What would you do if you came home from burying your mother, only to find your entire life had been stolen by the people you called family? That was the question I faced on a rainy November afternoon, standing in the doorway of my apartment, my heart already shattered from grief. The air smelled of damp wood and betrayal. My name is Elise Harper, and this is the story of how loss taught me to rebuild, not just my home, but my soul. The funeral had been a blur of gray skies and hushed voices. My mother, Ellen, had been my anchor, fierce, kind, and the only person who ever truly saw me. Her battle with cancer had been swift, merciless, and when she passed, I was left untethered. I'd spent the last week at her small house in upstate New York, sorting through her belongings, her handwritten recipes, her faded photo albums. The funeral was simple, just as she'd wanted, but it drained every ounce of me. I hadn't slept in days when I drove back to my Brooklyn apartment, expecting the quiet comfort of my own space. Instead, I found a void. The door creaked open, and my breath caught. My furniture gone. My books, my clothes, the little ceramic bird Mom gave me when I was 10 all vanished. The apartment wasn't just empty. It was gutted, like a carcass picked clean. I stood frozen, my black dress still damp from the rain, clutching the single box of Mom's things I brought back. My mind scrambled for answers. A break-in? But the lock was intact. A prank? No, this was too cruel. Then my eyes landed on a crumpled note on the kitchen counter, written in my cousin Tara's loopy handwriting. We took what we deserved. You'll be fine. Tara, my uncle's daughter, always simmering with resentment. She and her brother, Mark, had hovered at the funeral, offering stiff condolences while their eyes darted around Mom's house like vultures. I'd always known they envied Mom's modest success, her little house, her independence. But this, stripping my apartment bare while I mourned, it was a violation so deep it felt like they'd reached into my chest and torn out what was left of me. I sank to the floor, the note trembling in my hands. How had they even gotten in? Then I remembered. Tara had a spare key from when she borrowed my place for a weekend last summer. I trusted her. Family, I thought, was supposed to mean something. Tears burned my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. Not yet. I needed answers. I needed to know why. The next morning, I called Tara. No answer. Mark's phone went straight to voicemail. My uncle, their father, mumbled something about not getting involved before hanging up. I was alone, surrounded by bare walls and the echo of my own breathing. That's when I noticed the blinking red light on the security camera above my door. I'd installed it last year after a package theft, a cheap model that uploaded footage to the cloud. Heart pounding, I grabbed my laptop and pulled up the app. The footage was damning. Tara and Mark, along with 2 hired movers, had swept through my apartment the day of the funeral. They worked with ruthless efficiency, hauling out my couch, my bed, even my damn coffee maker. Tara paused at one point, holding up Mom's ceramic bird, smirking before tossing it into a box. The video was time-stamped, 2:17 p.m., right as I was delivering Mom's eulogy. I felt sick, but I kept watching. Then came the twist I didn't expect. A neighbor, Mrs. Delgado, appeared in the footage. She was a quiet widow who lived across the hall, always offering me leftover empanadas or asking about Mom's health. In the video, she knocked on my door, her face tight with suspicion. Tara brushed her off, claiming I'd asked them to clear out some stuff. Mrs. Delgado didn't buy it. She pulled out her phone, recording the movers as they loaded my things into a van. "This doesn't look right," she muttered, her voice faint but firm. The footage cut off as Tara slammed the door at her face. Mrs. Delgado. I hadn't even thought to talk to her. I crossed the hall and knocked on her door, my heart in my throat. She opened it, her eyes soft with pity. "Oh, Mija," she said, pulling me into a hug. I knew something was wrong. I posted that video online on the neighborhood group. I hope that's okay. I stared at her, stunned. Posted online? I hadn't even checked my phone since yesterday. I opened the neighborhood app, and there it was, Mrs. Delgado's shaky video, tagged with my address and a caption. Is this legal? Saw this happening while tenant was at her mom's funeral. The post had exploded hundreds of comments, shares, even local news outlets picking it up. Strangers were outraged, calling it heartless and despicable. Someone had identified Tara from a family photo I'd posted years ago. The internet was relentless, digging up her social media, her workplace. Mark's too. By noon, the story was trending. Relatives loot apartment during funeral. I didn't know how to feel. The viral attention was overwhelming, a strange mix of vindication and exposure. My grief, my loss, was now public property, but it was working. That afternoon, Tara called, her voice shrill with panic. Elise, you have to tell them to stop. They're ruining my life. I almost laughed. Ruining her life? She'd taken everything I owned. I hung up without a word. The police got involved after the video gained traction. Tara and Mar tried to claim it was a misunderstanding, that they thought I was moving out. But the footage, combined with the note, told a different story. They'd sold most of my things, pocketing the cash. The ceramic bird was gone, likely shattered in some thrift store bin. The police recovered what they could, a few boxes, my old desk, but most of it was lost forever. In the weeks that followed, the internet moved on, but I didn't. I stayed with Mrs. Delgado while I pieced my life back together. She became my unexpected ally, bringing me tea and stories of her own losses, reminding me that family isn't always blood. The neighborhood rallied too, dropping off furniture, clothes, even a new coffee maker. Their kindness was a lifeline, pulling me back from the edge. Tara and Mark faced consequences, community service, restitution, but it wasn't enough to erase the betrayal. I didn't want revenge, though. I wanted to rebuild. I found a new apartment, smaller but mine, filled with secondhand treasures and new memories. I framed one of Mom's recipes and hung it in the kitchen, a reminder of her love. The ceramic bird was gone, but I realized I didn't need it to carry her with me. Looking back, I see the paradox of loss. It breaks you, but it also shows you what matters. My relatives took my things, but they couldn't take my resilience. Mrs. Delgado's quiet courage. The strangers who stepped up showed me that humanity can shine even in the darkest moments. I lost my mother, my home, my trust and family. But I gained something too, the strength to start over, to choose who I call family, to find meaning in the ashes. So, what would you do if the people you trusted stole your world? I rebuilt mine, brick by brick, with hands that still tremble but refuse to break. And somewhere I know Mom is smiling, proud of the daughter who kept going.